Today we're going to talk about Kamala Harris leaving Donald Trump out to dry by taking the one strength he has left, and I interview U.S. Senate nominee Lucas Kunce about Josh Hawley's refusal to debate and why Missouri is suddenly up for grabs in November. I'm Brian Tyler Cohen, and you're watching No Lie. If you want to see desperate, it's Donald Trump having to call a press conference to try and solidify his advantage on the one issue that might have some hope of exploiting, and that is the issue of high prices, which is still plaguing Americans across the country, although it's very quickly losing steam as inflation has now fallen into the 2% range, which means Republicans better hurry up if they still want to derive some benefit here. And so Trump stood there with a table full of cereals and eggs and rotting meats in the sun and did what he does, which is to promise fire and brimstone if Kamala Harris gets elected. He stood up there for 90 minutes and warned that prices would go up by 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 500% if she's elected. Prices for food and energy and gas and housing. He vowed recessions and depressions and crushing prices and destruction and mayhem. You get it. But there was one question that was asked that I think exposed the whole sham by Donald Trump.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about credit card debt for just a second. You've got all these items.
A record.
It's a record.
Credit card.
48% up. And many families going into debt just to pay for groceries.
Yeah.
What's your message to Americans right now that you can make America affordable again?
Well, I would say my message to them. So he said, credit card debt is at the all-time high. It's never been like this. What's your message to America? How are we going to solve that, and what will they do? You know what I think they should do? They should, on November 5th or sooner, if it's early voting, which largely it is, which is ridiculous. We should have one-day voting, paper ballots. We should have voter ID, and we should have proof of citizenship, because people are voting and people are going on now without citizenship. But we should do it, and maybe we'll be able to get that done, too. It's one of the things I want to do. But my message to them would be very simple. Vote for Trump, and we're going to fix the problem. We're going to get it fixed. We'll get it fixed.
Okay, Trump was asked how he would fix credit card debt, and his solution to credit card debt was to tell people to vote for Trump. That's it. And so I think this is kind of an amazing tell, because the whole point of this press conference was to exploit the issue of high prices to present himself as the better alternative to Kamala Harris. But the problem is that he didn't bother actually thinking about a single policy. He just decided to say things are too expensive and that they'll quadruple under Harris and fall by 99% under him, without bothering to explain how or why at any point. He had an entire press conference about a thing that he didn't spend any time thinking about or solving. And it's the perfect microcosm here, because while this was about credit card debt, it exposed Donald Trump's con for the entire event. He didn't explain a single way that he would lower food prices or energy prices or gas prices or housing prices. He just said that he would, and then promised death and destruction if Kamala Harris got into office. This dude has so much disdain for his supporters. He thinks they are so simple and stupid that it's enough for him to just declare by fiat that he'll fix anything and everything, all the while not bothering to back up any of his promises by a single policy or fact or plan. And so that was Donald Trump showing his hand. But then Kamala Harris took it a step further and drove the final nail into the coffin, because she decided to hold her own event the following day in North Carolina, which is a state, by the way, that she is now leading in, according to the latest polling, which, of course, all caveats apply. This is just a snapshot of a moment in time and not a predictor of the future, but clearly a testament to the insane momentum for her campaign. And at this event, Harris also said that her plan, if she wins, is to tackle high prices. But the difference is, and I hope you're sitting down for this, she explained how she would actually do it. She promised a tax cut for working class and middle class Americans by expanding the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit. She promised to take on out of control housing costs by building more units, millions more units, and targeting those who collude to keep rent prices high or engage in fixing schemes or algorithms by firms to buy up homes. She promised to take on high food costs by targeting the retailers, raking in record profits by criminalizing price gouging. She took what Trump was so obviously bullshitting about and actually legitimized it. And so the question then becomes, if both of them are now promising to deliver on a similar agenda, who do Americans trust more to actually enact it? Is it the guy who demanded your vote by promising death and destruction if you don't? Or is it the woman who actually laid out plans to enact these policies Is it the guy who already promised a populist agenda once and instead gave himself and his donors a tax cut? Or is it the woman who's been part of an administration right now that's already been looking out for regular Americans by offering $35 insulin, $35 inhalers, eliminating junk fees at banks, forcing airlines to give automatic refunds for canceled flights? We have the luxury, or the gross misfortune, depending on who you're talking about, of being able to judge both of these candidates, not just on the promises that they make, but what they've already done in office, what they've already done with power. Donald Trump may have been able to fool the rubes who trusted him before with empty promises of prosperity, only to leave office as the least successful president in modern American history, but it's not going to work again. Kamala Harris knows that, which is why she's going in for the kill right now. And if polling is any indication thus far, Americans clearly believe her over Donald Trump. One quick note, my book, Shameless, is officially out. This is release week. It's garnering a ton of attention from Pod Save America to Mehdi Hasan, Don Lemon to Jen Psaki Show, Morning Joe, Midas Touch. The entire media ecosystem is covering this book. So if you haven't yet had a chance to order your copy, please grab yours as soon as you can. Also, my only shot for the New York Times list is this Wednesday, so please grab it before then if you can, and you can help me try and make the list, which is a personal goal of mine. You can click the link right here on the screen or in the post description, or go to briantylercohen.com/book, and I very much appreciate it. Okay, here's a preview of my interview with Lucas Kuntz. Hawley seems to be doing what he does best, which is running away. You've agreed to 5 debates with him. Hawley refuses to do any. What's the guy so afraid of?
I think he's scared of his own tail, man. I mean, here's the deal. He's scared of his record, right? And so for the background on that, we said we'd do 5 debates. We wanted to do 5 debates. We've agreed to 5 debates. We even proposed one on Fox News so the guy could feel comfortable, right? We said we'll do it on national Fox News, prime time. Fox News expressed interest. They found a potential host and, crickets from the Hawley team. And so, what it really is the guy doesn't want to answer questions about things like why he refuses to protect in vitro fertilization, why he refuses to protect contraception, why he's one of the few co-sponsors of a nationwide abortion ban, why he doesn't bring any money back to the state, why he robbed Missouri taxpayers of $250,000. I mean, the list of things the guy would actually have to answer for is really long. And so he's instead tried to just do fake attack ads against me on TV. He just put 1 million up on TV against us, and he's going to try to lean on those instead, I guess.
What's especially weird is that 6 years ago, Hawley tweeted, "I have again accepted an invitation to debate Claire McCaskill. This makes 7, and Claire McCaskill is again dodging. Senator, you've got to earn this." So tell me, Lucas, is it not necessary to earn it anymore in Missouri?
Well, I think what happened is, on January 6th, the man must have really embraced and found his inner coward, and he just can't seem to let go of it, right? And so here we're just seeing that again. And obviously, I think he should earn it. I think he should come out. I mean, the 2 basic jobs of a U.S. senator, like before any legislation or anything else, is 1, to bring money back to your state, identify projects and bring money back. Another thing you wouldn't want to answer to, because he's brought $0 back in earmarks to our state, like pretty crazy. And the second one is to meet your constituents and the people you're supposed to represent. I guess he just prefers the lobbyists out there in D.C.
To watch the full interview with Lucas Kuntz, click the thumbnail right here on the screen or check out the interviews playlist on my YouTube channel. You can also click the link on the screen to listen to the audio version of this episode, and of course to see more of my content, the subscribe button's on the screen as well.